Good evening, this is Just a Human, and welcome to this AI-only Battle Royale in Medieval 2 Total War, and you join me today for the Mercenary Spearmen. We've got ourselves 3,000 florins as ever, and a selection of factions who are going to take us into battle. We have the classics first, with Denmark, the Mercenary Spearmen. These are a magnificent unit. Everyone will be using these at the start of the game, but they are very much at the start of the game, so we might well see some better units come along. Specifically, the Dismounted Frankish Knights, who I would suggest are probably the favourites here in this campaign, or in this little battle here. Just a slightly later version of that unit, I would really say. A bit harder to find on the map, but of course pretty darn effective. They will be represented by the rebels. And then we have well, two pretty terrible units, really. We've got the Welsh Spearmen, who, okay, they do have bonus fighting cavalry, combat bonus in wind and snow. They do have a Schiltrum. That is nice. That is something, which is more than can be said for the final unit, the Slav Mercenaries, who are absolutely atrocious. They're pretty much just there to push around and to be arrow fodder, but you know what? Sheer numbers does win quite a lot on these battle royales, so we'll see if they can manage to pull it off. Do, of course, cheer your favourite faction in the comments below. For now, though, I think it's time to head on into battle.
Peasant scum! There is no reason for them to die beneath our blades, save they have that cow-like stupidity. Let's be done with them!
In we head to battle then, and we are on the Scottish Glen today, which I didn't realise quite was so hilly as this. Fortunate for the Frankish Knights, although they are the favourites, so maybe that's fine. I'm going to be happier actually with the Slav Mercenaries because they're doomed no matter what. Nonetheless, we'll see how this goes. An interesting decision here by the Danish mercenaries immediately to charge towards them. Best to keep yourselves together as a general rule, although maybe one in reserve to allow your rousing lads to get back into battle. It is interesting seeing what tactics are successful and which aren't. Now, Welsh Spearmen against Dismounted Frankish Knights. Sheer numbers, as we know, can be very, very effective, and throw a hill in as well. Oh yes. Now, these guys could have sprinted up towards here and got to the flat, so I don't feel too bad about them being in that position for the time being, but it looks like Scotland are going to come on in for the first poke. It's going to be a crunchy hit between these guys. We apparently have Silver Surfers for Welsh Spearmen here today, which makes them look an awful lot better than they are. They should normally turn up in this. Looks like they got magnificent armour. No, I just haven't selected the right unit when I put this in the battle file, so it's absolutely fine. Won't crash the game, but it does make this battle a little bit more dramatic than it needs to be. These are terrible. Don't mind me. Now, as for our guys, some of them are moving. Just the one unit. Very strange behaviour indeed. Okay, this is a points victory, by the way, so this isn't very good for the Danes right now, but we've got some of the Welsh Spearmen who fancy the chance against the Slav Mercs, which I very much would as well if I were you. We have ourselves an early break here. The Scottish Welsh Spearmen, I probably could have phrased that better, but anyway, they are indeed breaking. Magnificent as they might look, they are running from the men. Oh, absolutely magnificent. Maybe we should have a picture of them running away. That's quite fun. We'll grab ourselves the odd screenshot as we go. The Danes still just holding back, which works in other types of battles. Not in this one, lads. Not in this one, sirs. Yeah, let's get a nice close-up picture of some of this battling. Absolutely magnificent. And okay, some of the Danish lads are into battle though. Mercenary Spearmen, just the general taking on the entire of the Polish Slav mercenary units. Absolutely magnificent. I think they'll probably win by themselves, to be honest. They are shaken, which would make sense when all your friends are standing behind you, doing absolutely nothing. Well, we do have some of the Slav mercenaries fleeing. We have some of the Welsh Spearmen coming back into battle, and it's quite a nice skyline here. Very nice indeed. We have ourselves, yeah, some terrible units taking on other terrible units. How are the rebels doing, by the way? The Frankish mercenary lads. Dismounted Frankish Knights. How are we doing? 91. Yeah, 63, 82. They're doing okay, 53, but they're looking a bit battered at this point. Oh, the Danes have actually joined the battle slightly. Or at least, well, these guys are giving up, and some of the others have just started to turn up instead. Okay, so one's pulled out, the others are going back in. Would be sensible if this were, yeah, fight to the very last, but we are on scored resolution. How are you getting on, by the way, guys? Slav Mercs, 63, 147. I imagine you're going to take maybe another 10 losses before you break them and finish that unit, so I suspect we'll be absolutely fine. When it comes to the final battles, I'm not expecting any of these spearmen to be particularly victorious. Obviously, as other infantry go, they're not exactly the best unit to take on other infantry, be it swords or axes or pikes or anything really. Very good against cavalry, of course, but yes, I don't see them going too far in this. Dismounted Frankish Knights, they are pretty darn good, and they seem to have routed all of the Welsh Scotsmen that are on the battlefield. Or are they Scottish Welshmen? I think they're Scottish Welshmen. Let's go with that. So at this point, I think they are properly fleeing now. And that's interesting because you will get more points for mopping them up, but I don't know how the actual count works. We've got a charge! Dismounted Frankish Knights, some kind of reddish brown, charging another type of reddish brown because medieval eras have no colour apparently. One of my gripes with the game, it should be said. More colour. Make it a little bit more colourful like Rome, please. Now, I must say, these Dismounted Frankish Knights are battered. They're not going to survive to the end, but I suspect they are going to be doing very well on the points, which is, of course, what matters here. The Slavs are, again, it's just, the Danes here are just kind of deciding we're not going to engage someone. That's absolutely fine. This unit have indeed routed the entire Slav force by themselves, apart from just this one guy left here. The others are indeed routing, and I think that is going to be the end of them, which is going to be problematic because if these guys hold on long enough, yeah, they will just about pull back, which is the advantage of numbers. But at this stage, Denmark are looking in a pretty strong position to finish off any of these rebels, which, yeah, I think they'll be able to do. They are very similar units. As I say, the Frankish is a slightly later version of them. Very nice bit of chainmail on them. Excellent stuff. But yes, I suspect the rebels are doing okay when it comes to scores. There are those around the flanks here. The Slavs back in it. The Scots have officially sodded off, by the way. But this could still be intriguing yet, because the general unit... Is the general unit? Yeah, this is the general unit who's already been a bit bad. You can see them bloodied a bit. For some reason, I say for some reason the shield is bloodied. I guess there's blood on the shield. The shield itself is not bloodied per se. 78 to 82. That charge seems to have done something to them as well. Okay, well, they're routing. Ooh, okay. The Slavs have regrouped and routed them. So that could be of interest. This is getting very messy indeed. But that's what we love here on these battles. A big pile of silly mess. Although I suspect my screenshot, or the thumbnail, you'll know what it is already. I suspect it's going to be the Silver Surfers. Oh, look, another random charge in the back. And that's routed the Dismounted Frankish Knights. Fair play to the Slav Mercenaries. They just held on long enough. And they're managing to use the cycle of mass units to their advantage, and they are doing a good job. I'd be intrigued to see how they do. You've got to say the Scots are probably going to be struggling since they just led the battle so early, but you never know. They might have got some good points here against the rebels. At this point, we have the Slavs chasing down the Danes chasing back into the Slavs, and the rebels chasing the Slavs, where the Slavs are chasing the rebels. It's a grand old paradox of a paradox, but it is a hell of a battle. So... Okay, I think the rebels have maybe been able to handle the hill fairly well, to be fair. Enemy generals fleeing. Not sure which that is. This might be the... Is the Slavs officially gone this time? I think so. I think they're gone. It is just the... Is it just the rebels? Or is everyone gone? No, those rebels are still fighting. Okay, so the Slavs are officially gone now as well as the Scots. Unsurprising. They did well to cycle through as many times as they did. Got to say the Danes, you held back here for a long time, are looking in a pretty good position, it should be said. But you never know how the points are looking. And actually, on the note of that, it looks like the last rebel unit, I think this is the last one fighting. It looks like they're now getting caught up. And that might be it. That is indeed it. So the Danish, unsurprising, are the last standing, but that's because they never joined the bloody battle. At this point, they need to do a lot of mopping up to hopefully make up for that. as we watch the final unit chase to the battlefield. Make note for next time that, wow, the Slavs. They've given the Slavs victory. That is a magnificent piece of news. How do I feel about that? I mean, the score of resolution has all put up a lot of questions, it should be said. My note for next time was to put the timer on because it took a long time for everything to be chased off the battlefield. Specifically these guys, there were just so many of them, and I mean, the Slav Mercenaries won. I guess I've got to give it to them. We're doing a scored resolution, and that's how it's going to go. The Scots losing badly, the Rebels winning second place, as it were. And yeah, the Danes just not doing enough. They did quite a lot in the end, but there might have been quite a lot of a lot of chasing down. 200 odd captured at the end there. Well, it's a victory for the Poles. Indeed, for the Danish mercenary spearmen, they're not nearly enough kills from some of their units. Just took too long to get involved in the battle. And okay, I have no idea how this score thing works. If anyone actually does understand it in the comments, I'd be really intrigued to see that and how it actually works. I think we might go back to last man standing in future, but we'll finish this particular round of mercenary onlys with the scored resolution. God, it is a little bit random. It does make the end quite interesting though. Who's going to win? Who's going to be made up as a random victor? But hey ho, thank you for joining me on this Only Affair. We will be having more mercenary battle royales in the coming weeks, so do look out for them, and of course they will cycle back in and face the victors of our various different cultures. So we will get back to those as well in a few semi-finals. You can of course support the channel by becoming a member here or on Patreon, by liking, subscribing, and also by getting involved in the comment section though. I hope you will join us next time. I will leave you for now. I'm Tenosity Human. Thank you friends, and tally-ho. Welcome to Babylon, which is empty. Oh, Steve's dead. Bit of a shit. They seem a bit sad about it all. It's okay, guys. This is what it's about. Oh, they turned their backs. We did actually break them with a charge. Exceptional. How are we doing this? They may take out armies, but they'll never take our spies.